This video is about Amazon advertising, but today we are talking about 4 key mindsets which could help you to design PPC game plan on Amazon. And our guest is Ritu Java from PPC Ninja. It's a company which creates a software for Amazon sellers to deal with Amazon advertising campaigns and automate them. So check the link below in the description for PPC Ninja. You can sign up with them and test them. And in this conversation, you will also meet LISETT. She hosts Orange Click videos and she also works with Amazon brands. So enjoy this conversation and don't forget to subscribe below to the YouTube channel of Orange Click. Hello, Ritu. It's nice to have you here. Could you please tell what do you do in Amazon space?
Hi, Augustus. So my name is Ritu Java, and I am the CEO and co-founder of PPC Ninja, and we're in the Amazon advertising space, and I personally have been in the e-commerce space for about 10 years.
And today in this session, we also have LISETT, no, that direction, and she works with Amazon brands. So she will be participating in this conversation. And before we go into your presentation, could you please tell us what you will be sharing with us today? What Amazon sellers can learn from you?
Yeah, right. So today's presentation is about PPC tactics to help you scale quickly. And by quickly, I don't literally mean that you'll be able to shortcut anything. It's a pretty involved process. PPC is not an easy thing, but I'll be sharing a few mindset changes that you might be able to incorporate pretty quickly so that it will help you come up with the best strategies for running your PPC effectively on Amazon.
Perfect. So I think we're ready to start your presentation, and let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So yeah, as as I just said, my topic is Amazon PPC tactics to help you scale quickly. I just want to give you a quick background about myself. I have been in the e-commerce space for about 10 years. My first failed attempt was trying to be an Etsy seller when I was in Japan. I've also moved many countries, have lived and worked in 4, and currently I live in Canada. The latest kind of passion, obsession that I have is Amazon advertising, and that's what I love doing. And I spent my days trying to formulate the best strategies for PPC. And so today's presentation, I'm going to start with some pretty broad topics that are to do with PPC mindset, because if you get the mindset right, then you're on the right track to be able to pick and choose the best strategies that are available. There's so many really great mentors and people who talk about PPC in the industry, and I think each one has really good strategies to offer. But I guess each one of us as sellers as well as, advertisers really need to see what works best for us. And so the PPC mindset that I'm going to share is starting from a very traditional kind of, digital marketing mindset, which I'm going to explain, and then I'm going to show and compare how this compares against Amazon. So the traditional sales funnel, and I guess all of you have seen what a traditional sales funnel looks like. People use different terminologies to, kind of segment the 4 or 5 levels of the customer journey. But, pretty much these are the 4 or 5. You start with awareness, interest, and consideration, conversions, and then repeat customers, right? So this is pretty much the journey that digital marketers would want ideally to take their customers on, so that they can generate that interest in your brand, and then have some engagement, and then have them down in the funnel where they convert, and then keep coming back to you over and over again. Now, if I compare this with the Amazon space, this is very different on Amazon because the sales funnel is highly compressed. First of all, you don't own Amazon's customers. They belong to Amazon. So you don't really have access to their names, their emails. You can't follow up with them. There's lots of restrictions in trying to, go outside of the Amazon ecosystem to be in touch with them, complexities that most sellers are aware of that violate Amazon's terms of service. So what do you have? What choices do you have? You have to work with these compressed funnels because your shoppers are going to be there on Amazon for a very short period of time, and you have to basically meet them wherever they are in their journey. And what that means is that you need to set up funnels that are pointed in multiple different directions so that you can, get that traffic into your funnel, your listings, and have people engage with your brand as quickly as possible before they get distracted with, the 1 million other distractions that are there on Amazon, because Amazon is a jungle of distractions. So the way I'd like to look at it is that, all these different funnels we have are different types of funnels, right? You can set up keyword funnels, right? Most people are aware of keyword funnels because we do a lot of keyword research. We spend, the bulk of our, initial launch process on the keyword research phase, which is a very important phase. But there's other funnels as well, such as product funnels, which I think have become more prominent in recent months, and it's not even probably a year since Amazon allowed us to do this kind of targeting with product targeting ads or category targeting ads. And then there are categories, right? People are in different categories. They're in a different mindset when they're just browsing versus very specific about what they're looking for. So if they are in a category and generally looking out for similar or related products to yours, that's also a funnel that you can tap into and bring them quickly to your listing. And then finally, there's also a lot of stuff that happens outside the Amazon platform, which is also kind of owned by Amazon in a way, because wherever you are in life, Amazon is trying to kind of intercept and disrupt your flow. And just like any other kind of display advertising, they also provide sponsored display ads or, for advanced sellers, DSP ads that allow you to kind of tap into, life wherever those people are. You can, disrupt them and kind of bring them into your funnel. So the idea is to, wherever they are, just catch them there and let them into your funnel. And that's how the conversions happen. Very different from the traditional sales funnel. So with that kind of background, I just want to dive into how you can then, use that mindset to your advantage and then start to scale quickly. So I have like 4 kind of broad, very high level ideas or concepts here to help you understand how the scaling can actually happen pretty quickly if you get it. So the first one is to maximize your exposure, right? So be visible in more places than you can possibly do with an organic result. And of course, we're talking about advertising. So there are so many placements on Amazon. Not all of them are taken. There's so many opportunities that a lot of sellers maybe don't have not invested enough time and energy into, because it's more convenient to just focus on maybe auto campaigns and manual campaigns, and that's it. But there's so many other placements that we can take advantage of and maximize our exposure on and off Amazon. So that's the first one. The second one is proactively removing barriers to entry. And what I mean by that is that, while, we're waiting for someone to type those keywords and then come into our funnel, there's more that you can do to kind of intercept them proactively and remove any barriers to entry into your products as you possibly can. And I'll get into examples a little bit later on. And then the third one is to interconnect your funnels. So I'm seeing a lot of funnels. Like, I've been in this space for a while, so I always see the whole advertising game as a game of funnels, where you can basically interconnect a lot of them and have traffic go from one place to another, provided you've designed it right. So it's all about knowing or, thinking about those different funnels, interconnecting them, and having a smooth flow, well, as much flow as possible into your multiple funnels, and basically keeping the customer to yourself as much as possible. And then the fourth one is cross-sell, upsell, and downsell. And this is, again, a concept that's borrowed from the digital marketing space. Because, in digital marketing, you always have, you present something, and if the customer doesn't want that, well, then you present something else. And if they don't want that, you can present something else, which might be maybe a cheaper product or something that is more differentiated in a different way. So you can use advertising on Amazon in certain ways so that you can achieve that effect, even though Amazon doesn't give you those words or doesn't give you a way to do it directly. But we have worked out a system for our own clients at PPC Ninja where we actually do this through Amazon advertising. So with that said, let me dive into some more details about each of these four so that we can learn some strategies on how to scale quickly. So the first one, maximize exposure. Now, this is my map of all the different ad types available on Amazon. And so there's a few terminologies here that maybe you're all familiar with, but I'll just repeat it for someone who is maybe a little bit new or hasn't really had exposure to all of them. So I'm referring to SP to mean sponsored products. SB is sponsored brands, and SD is sponsored display. And then DSP is display demand side platform. So this is most sellers won't have access to this. You need to go through either Amazon or through another agency that can give access to demand side platform, which is advertising outside of Amazon to bring people into your funnel. So I've kind of divided this space into off, on, and then off, which basically means that off Amazon, ads that are shown off Amazon, ads that are shown on Amazon, and then again, ads that are shown off Amazon. So most people would, do sponsored product keyword targeting ads. They would do sponsored products auto campaigns, which are the easiest type of ad type to set up. And, it capitalizes on Amazon's own, algorithms and ability to go and find matches for anything that's on your listing. So these two are pretty common. And I think they're also the bread and butter for most people. That's the main ad type. But then there's this ecosystem of these other ad types that most people will ignore because of maybe time or knowledge of the ad types, or it's just too cumbersome, or they just don't have the skills to do it. But the additional ad types, if you can master them and if you can start to use them in your advertising strategy, then they're almost like the vitamins or the supplements that you need in addition to the main, food that you eat. It's almost like having all of these ad types will give you maximum exposure on Amazon in different placements, and it'll bring in some, passive income or, extra optimized income that you did not, maybe seek directly, but having this kind of spread actually offsets the fact that the mainstream ads are getting more and more expensive, right? So the cost per clicks are going up, but some of these newer ad types, which are underutilized and there's not much competition, they can actually bring you really good conversions that are going to help you offset some of the costs. And overall, it helps to improve your overall campaign profitabilities.
Okay, I have one question. As you are explaining basically all the different ad types that are possible to use in Amazon, there is a debate over Amazon posts. Is it, do you think it's rather a part of advertising side of Amazon business, or is it more like just marketing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at this point, it is more like marketing. We don't know how things are going to turn out in the future, but it is yet another way of, getting the word out. So like, there's so many other types. There's Amazon Live Video, posts. There's so many other vehicles for getting the word out. And yeah, I would say that if you can afford the time and energy to do it, definitely take advantage of those free advertising opportunities on Amazon as well.
But from the ones you mentioned, what do you think? Which are the ones that sellers put least of their attention on?
I would say that if they are brand registered, I think brand registered sellers are missing out on sponsored brand ads because they're harder to set up. They require a custom image, they require a custom message, and it's not like some of the other sponsored product ads where you can just throw a bunch of keywords and be done with it. There, you need to put in some thought into how you design that ad so that your messaging and your keywords are highly aligned, because otherwise it becomes a very high level, top of funnel kind of ad that doesn't convert so well. So if you want to convert your sponsored brand ads, then it requires more thought. And I think that's one type of ad that people ignore a lot. And I find that's a very powerful type of ad because it is the #1 spot on Amazon. It's the thing that you see first before any other ad type. It's the top of search. Okay, let me move on to the next topic, which is removing barriers. So what I mean by removing barriers is, how you can make it super easy for your customers to step into your funnel. And many people, debate about whether they should or shouldn't target their branded keywords. Like, if let's say if I'm Pepsi and I spend a bunch of money on advertising on the keyword Pepsi, then when someone types Pepsi, you might think, they're going to find me anyway, so why should I pay for my pay to defend my my branded keywords? But case in point, this is a search that I did for Coca-Cola, and all I see above the fold is Pepsi. So they're really doing a great job of advertising. So these are all sponsored ads, all the first 4 that you see above the fold. So at this point, Pepsi is making it easy for people to step into their funnel, right? So if Coca-Cola had done their advertising right, they might have removed that barrier to entry instead of taking a short-term mindset, which is that why should I pay on my own ads? Or let's say they're paying lower than Pepsi is for that branded keyword. So targeting your own branded keyword just makes it easy because someone types your branded keyword, they expect to see you, not someone else, right? So make it easy. Why create a friction? Let them get into your funnel. It's another kind of expense sort of for keeping your brand top of mind and above the fold. And it's a totally worth it expense. And then you can do the same to your competitors as well. You can target competitor brand terms to win their funnel. Anyone who's going into their funnel, you can just divert them into your funnel by being so top of mind and above the fold. And then another way that I, think we can remove these barriers is by really being careful about the negative keywords that you set up. So this is a topic of a lot of discussion. People have different viewpoints about negative keywords, and a lot of people will focus on negative keywords as a way to be profitable, which means that if you're not converting on certain keywords, then just negate them because you're not going to be profitable. They're not converting well. But if some of those keywords are relevant and you're kind of killing them, then you're basically creating a barrier for yourself. I'll give you an example. There was one of our customers who had like different types of products for kids. And these products were quite different. And, by setting up negative keywords between these products so that if someone was searching for product A, they wouldn't actually be able to get into product B because product B had a block. They said, okay, negate the keywords for this other product that I have. And so creating these barriers in between their product, it prevented people from freely moving between these different options. And basically it was throttling their whole, what seemed like a super optimized PPC strategy where you had so much control, almost more control than you needed to have on all these keywords that seemed to be not profitable because they were not converting well, but creating these negative keyword barriers was harming them more. So when we came in, we actually removed some of those barriers, and their sales went up because one product would lead to another. If that one product wasn't interesting enough for the buyer, they could easily go to the other, because Amazon would make those suggestions and the connections were already there. So we just help to lift those barriers. So think about your negative keyword strategies. All I'm saying. I also use negative keywords for the right reasons, when something is absolutely not the right keyword for a product that I have. But if there's a possibility of someone being interested in another one of your products, then don't kind of block it off for a short-term gain, and let the overall goal of advertising be served. All right, so let's go to number 3, which is interconnect your funnels. And so what we mean by this is so I have 3 images here, and there are many more that we use internally. But these 3 images just show you how you can use funnels to feed into each other. So the first one is ASIN harvesting. So there is a funnel that you're already setting up for your auto campaign, which will bring in lots of keywords as well as products that converted. So you already have that information through your search term reports. So all you need to do is go harvest those and create new funnels from those. And most people are familiar with this in the keyword sense of the word. Like, a lot of people have been using the strategy of keyword harvesting from auto campaigns. But recently we also have the access to ASINs. And so we can also harvest ASINs from those reports and create more campaigns that are product targeting types. The second funnel I have, the concept here is funnel and funnel. And what I mean by that is when there is like a high volume product, such as from a bigger brand, you can always piggyback on that brand, because they're going to be getting a lot of traffic. They're paying to get a lot of traffic to their listing. And if your product serves their customers a little bit better, then why not show up on their page? So that's the idea of the funnel inside a bigger funnel. You can also use this idea for your own products as well. And then the third image I have here is of market basket, which is basically which products are purchased together with other products. And just to explain a little bit about market basket analysis, this is a concept from data science, which basically studies the shopper behavior to see which products are purchased more frequently with certain other products. So for example, in this supermarket case, of the transactions that included milk, 71% of those transactions also included bread, 43 included eggs, and 29 included toilet paper. So it makes sense then that if you are selling toilet paper, then you can target milk, which means conceptually it might be a different type of product, but because there is a reason for customers to be purchasing those 2 items together as a holistic shopping cart, then those make for really good targets for you. And a lot of people have trouble thinking through with this, because they're like, oh, that seems like a irrelevant product. Why would I target milk when I have toilet paper, right? But it's because of this reason. It's because of the science behind the numbers. And how do you get access to this information? Like, how do you know which product is, because there are millions of products, right? How do you even guess or begin to start guessing? So here's the solution. Just look at brand analytics. And in this brand analytics data, which is available to brand registered sellers, there is this market basket analysis option here. And so this will tell you which of your products is purchased together with which other products. And they even give you a percentage, how many percent of the time is that other product purchased together with yours. That's great. We have all the data that we need. So we just go create those ads and create those interconnected funnels that I was talking about. You could also use item comparison or alternate purchase behavior, which is, again, more information from Amazon about which other products were compared when people were searching for your product, or which products did they end up buying when they were on your product. So all that information is really good because it helps us create those types of ads that are that turn out to be really well converting, because we're basing it on data.
And is it something that the sellers can just download from Seller Central and they have like files to go through, or how does it work?
Yes, it's a CSV file that you can download, and you can set your time period. So if you don't want it for this week, you can go to back a month, a quarter, and it goes all the way back to 2017, April, I think, several years back. So you can just get that information. You can even look for seasonality in those. So you can just go maybe December and see what was December's market basket analysis. So this is really, really awesome data that we can all take advantage of.
Okay, really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so just to give you an example of what this might look like when you start actually creating those ads. So here is these are all the different products that I found for a single ASIN, like associated with a single ASIN. So these are all my different funnels. I created these by looking at competitors. I looked at frequently bought together. I looked at market basket, alternate purchase, item comparison, and I collected all those different product ASINs, and I put them into 10 campaigns, and I created 10 campaigns for basically one product. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is not to overwhelm, but to show you that this is how we do things. Like, this is how we create those funnels without getting, so don't get overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed by the number of campaigns, because ultimately only a few of these will actually convert. Most of them will maybe not even get impressions. And so the goal is to keep looking at this data once it starts accumulating impressions and clicks and sales, and then doubling down on those ASINs, that the target ASINs that are converting, and boost them a little bit by bidding up, and maybe letting go of the ones that are not converting. So the whole approach in Amazon is to not worry too much about, oh, there are 10 campaigns, so 10 times $40 a day would be $400. Oh, that much budget. So it's not a budget mentality. We're looking at data-based feedback loop mentality. We are going to look at data frequently. We're going to look at ASINs that convert first or early. The early data points always get more preferential treatment over time by Amazon's algorithms. So if you can assist in increasing the bids of those early data points, you will see like a snowballing effect there. So that's our typical strategy for encouraging the early conversions and get them even more and more conversions. All right, so now let's get into the fourth idea I have here, which is cross-sell, upsell, and downsell. So, this is an example of Maybelline mascara. So this was an A+ comparison table that I found on one of their product pages. And so I found that this was a really effective tool in keeping shoppers engaged with alternatives from their own catalog, right? So this is a great free option for anyone who has access to A+ content, because, they can see all the different variations, and if they don't like one, they can go to the other. If they don't like the shape of one, they say, okay, I want that shape. Okay, I found it. It's right there. So building out comparison tables with A+ is a great way to, to keep people close to you. But you can also create product targeting ads and target your own catalog with your own products. So what I mean by that is, if there is, let's say, a product with a $300 worth product, and let's say that doesn't seem interesting to the buyer, you can always have a bunch of ads placed on that product for, let's say, something that is either cheaper or has different features. So you have the opportunity to cross-sell, upsell, or even downsell by keeping those ads close to the main listing. So I'm going to give you an example here. So this is an example from a watch. Its brand is Stick Watch. And what they've done is that they have the main watch showing up here, which is $269 Canadian. And I'm seeing two other ads on the same ad, the same listing from the same brand. So this is another Tick Watch sponsored ad, and this is another Tick Watch sponsored ad. So they're different price points. This one is $233 to $69, and this $3.99 and there's $3.67, but they have certain different features that might be interesting. And then on the same page, if I scroll down, I have 2 more ads that are the sponsored products type of ad. So these 2 are sponsored display ads, and this one at the bottom is a sponsored product targeting ad. So, what they've done is they have, they're trying to keep the shopper close to them. They're not going to let them go out of their funnel, because if they do, then they're lost. Like, they will get into another competitor's funnel, and then they will be, swept away with all kinds of distractions and won't ever come back. Or maybe they do, but you don't want to take that chance, because like I said in the beginning, all these funnels are very compressed, and you have to work, you have to design your ads so that you can quickly convert and quickly close the sale before they get distracted. So so those are some of the top level strategies to help you, really scale and grow on Amazon through methods that you probably won't maybe think about too much, because they're like a little bit high level. But just to summarize once again, you want to maximize your exposure by getting into as many different ad types and placements as possible. You want to proactively remove barriers to entry by, allowing people to step into your funnel easily, or getting access to your competitors' funnels and drawing people into your funnel as easily as possible. Then you want to interconnect your funnels. You want to make sure that one product leads to another, and they're all in your funnel. And then you want to cross-sell or upsell or downsell by strategically placing ads for products within your own catalog, so that you maximize the space, and then you're able to keep the buyer attention focused on your brand. So that's the most important thing.
Thank you, Ritu. Talking about the funnels, previously Lisette asked a question: which type of the sponsored or which type of advertising Amazon sellers are not using that actively? My question would be about the funnels. Which do you think part of the funnel is not used enough by the Amazon sellers, and they are not taking like the maximum? You could show maybe the slide of that funnel.
So the thing is that, some of these, these type of ads that are up in the funnel where you are creating awareness, these can be a little expensive because the conversion doesn't happen right away. So these could be more expensive to get. Most sellers stay close to the bottom of funnel, which is great because they're focused on profitability, and there is like interest in the search term, and the search term happens to be on your product, and you're also bidding on it. So there is a quick conversion happens right there. Whereas some of these other ads up at the top, they're a little bit further away because maybe the shopper wasn't actually looking for your product, but you showed them your ad and it generated some interest, and that's how they came into your funnel. So they're a little bit away from the bottom of funnel. So I think most sellers try to stick here. Very few venture up or outside to get more data, or to get more exposure to people who are maybe on the fringe, or they're not really looking for your product. And so they kill these opportunities by setting up or designing their ads in a way that that don't really cater to these top of funnel. But you could get top of funnel conversions if you design these ads properly. So sorry, long-winded answer, but I think that as you go above the middle of funnel, these are underutilized. Categories are one of my favorite ad types, where you basically need to do very little. It's similar to an auto campaign, but you basically target the whole category, which is great because you don't even know all the products in your category. Amazon knows it. And so this is an easy one, a low-hanging fruit that you can set up that gives you top of funnel exposure for bottom of funnel type of conversion rates. So these can be pretty cheap, also because people are not using these too much. So yeah.
Okay, and considering there are like a lot of different ad types, which sellers also set up a lot of different campaigns, do you have any tips for planning the budget for ads?
Yeah, so we tend to start with, so we launch every product with minimum 10 ads from all these different ad types. We do 2 auto campaigns, we do 4 manual campaigns, 1 sponsored product category ad, one sponsored product targeting ad, and then we also do sponsored brand ads for headlines. And then sponsored display, if someone has access to sponsored display. Not everyone has sponsored display category and sponsored display product targeting ads. So between 8 to 10 different ads. And we tend to put a minimum budget of $40 per ad, because that helps to convert or give Amazon enough permission to show impressions for our ad. But then we also know that Amazon doesn't actually use all of it. Like if you give it a $40 budget per day, it doesn't mean that that whole $40 is used, because Amazon uses many other factors like relevance, past conversions and so on. It uses all of that data to decide whether you win the auction or someone else does. So while it might look like a lot, 10 ads times $40 a day, it seems like budget has blown up. But actually, that's not the case. It's just placeholders that you're creating, as long as you follow that up with watching all of these campaigns very carefully. Like as soon as you launch, within the first couple of hours, you will know which ones are leading in terms of results. And so you want to quickly double down on those by boosting the bids just a little bit. And within a week, you would know which ones are performing, which ones aren't. And so that's the time when you can do any kind of scaling you need on a budget level. But typically, budget scaling is not an advanced approach to managing your PPC. It's bids that you want to control, right? You want to make sure that you have the right bids. Budget capping is good for maybe if your ads are not performing well and you're doing budget capping, then you actually need to fix that problem first instead of cutting it off through a budget cap. But I also do it. Like I also do budget capping when I know that I don't have the time to go in and fix the problem. I will do a first line of defense, which is cut the budget off and then go back in and see how can I fix this so that I can make it performant. Because every performant campaign should ideally bring you more return than you invest, right? Many, many more times. So if that's the case, then why would you limit your budget, right? The more you invest, the more you get returns, right? Unless you have inventory constraints, which is a different issue altogether. But by and large, setting up a blueprint, which is 10 campaigns to start with, and add more as you go along, as you discover more and more products, more and more keywords to target, you basically grow your ecosystem and then have a highly profitable spread out campaign strategy, which is what we use at PPC Ninja for our customers.
All right. Thank you very much, Ritu, for your presentation. And you mentioned that you run it's a software for managing advertising on Amazon, right? PPC Ninja.
Yes.
So could you give us a little bit overview what PPC Ninja does, and also we can end with an explanation how people can get in touch with you and how to find you.
Right. Yeah. So actually, I have one slide here just at the end. I just want to mention that PPC Ninja is a software as a service as well as a managed services company. So we do both, but the bulk of our focus is on the software side of things. And so our software is basically used by agencies and sellers to manage their PPC. It's a very Excel-like UI where there's a lot of views that we've created for different purposes. Like we have campaign views, all keywords view, targets view, placements view. So it gives you your data in, we're slicing it and dicing it for you in different ways so that you can look at your data and pivot on multiple parameters, just like you would in Excel. But it works like a UI. There's no Excel programming required at all. You can do bulk operations. We have tons and tons of bulk operations to make you to help you find segments of data that meet certain criteria, and then you take bulk action on it across your entire account. And then we also have a bidding engine, which helps you to adjust your bids, so that you're within a target ACoS. So all of the, the bells and whistles of a basic PPC automation tool. And so right now we're offering a 6-week program. It's a free mastermind program that we do live, and it's like one-on-one. So one-on-one as in it's live, so people need to show up. There are no recordings. So if anyone would like to sign up for that, we have the link here, ppcninja.com/mastermind. So once you have signed up for it, then you get access to us, our time, and engage with us on a personal level as well. So this is an invitation to all of the listeners. If they would like, they can sign up for it.
Thank you, Ritu, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you both. Bye.
I do hope you found this video interesting. It's a little bit different approach to talk about Amazon advertising. And again, if you want to check out what PPC Ninja does and test their software, you will find the link below in the description. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video about Amazon advertising, where you will hear some advanced PPC strategies which will help you to succeed and compete with your competition. So check this out. It's quite a popular video on our channel.